What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Um, Time to get started. This is going to be fun. We're going to try and make this a little bit short today because all we're going to do is just what I already showed you, what was already put on the car. I'm going to take all that off so that I can put my very rare and discontinued titanium pins in there. But upon further inspection, I noticed that some of you older guys will probably be able to tell. There's one missing. Yeah, there is one missing. I have all my control arm ones, all the long ones, but I have one of the short ones missing. And one of the short ones missing for the caster blocks and rear hub blocks. Dang it. So what I'll probably do with that is I'll probably show you what we used to do with these black ones anyways, and show you how we got these to free up to where they would actually run good. And so this one's not too bad, but it's still a little sticky. So show you that method. Yeah, this one here just stays up. It's just, that's not good. I mean, they're only moving that much, but still, there's some stick there. That one there's good. That one's real good. That one's pretty good. And that one's pretty good down there. But I used to get to mine where they were so freewheeling without the motor in them that you could actually sit them on an unlevel surface and it would show you that the table or counter or whatever it was unlevel. If it was a flat surface, it wouldn't move. If it was a slightly unlevel surface, the car would just start rolling. That's how free I got these things. That's why I loved them so much. They were so freewheeling that it was nuts. And with the belt driven cars, they weren't that way. I don't know if they are now. I would like to find out. So hey, Associated, if any of you guys are watching all of this, I would love to compare this car 25 plus years ago when you guys released this thing originally in 99. This is not a 99 release because it has the dual shock towers and the droop nub on there. The other car does. It's more of an original pan. I would love to compare this as far as the engineering has come and how they work between this, the TC7, and the brand new TC8. Love to do that and do kind of a build side by side, just to see all the different stuff that has changed over the years. That would be awesome. But we're already making this too long. So what we're going to do is I'll put the control arm ones in there. Oh, come on. Sit down there. So everybody can see which one I'm missing. As you can see, there's 3 different sizes. So I think it might be one of my rear caster blocks. The hub block, I think, is missing because that's the slightly longer one. I got all 3 of my control arms, and then my front caster blocks, and then the rear hub. I'm missing a rear hub, but no big deal. When we're ready, I won't even put that one in. I'll just put another one in, so that's not going to be any big deal. So what we're going to do is I'm going to transfer you guys over onto my little alien star here, so that we're going to do the whole wrap around the camera and get to going on this. And never realized it before because I never really paid attention to it that much even back then, that all the screws in this standards. All standard screws. The little sucker sits in there nice and snug. Most of the time I always use just the little kits that came with them. And just some regular hand tools and stuff like that. I never really realized that these were actually the standard Allens, which is really cool. Just more American that way. So here we go. I'll get you guys switched over and get you off of this leg here. A little spinny spin. You're not seeing this, but there we go. And put your other legs on. Yeah. And then we will get you switched around here where the party is going to be. Back up here a little bit so that you can see. Well, maybe I won't do this. I might have to set it off to the side so that you can actually see it a little bit better. But I'm just going to use the book. I'm going to go through the book so that you guys can see how illustrated these books were. They were pretty nice. So it just starts you right off with the steering. Yeah, I might just have to do that. Just have to switch it around and not do the whole reach around. And going to set you off to the side a little bit. Maybe that'll work a little bit better. That might work pretty dang good. That way you see all of it. And I don't have to worry about getting in the way for the most part. Anyways, there we go. Here we go. What we're going to do first is get the steering block back off of here, because this is what we're showing you right here, and I want to show you the bottom of this. And it's just a plastic nut, and my drivers, I was just checking them, my drivers weren't the right size for these. So the beast that comes in your kit is the exact proper one. And this one here doesn't have bearings in here, but I liked this steering system better out of anything, because bell cranks have a swing to them. So you get this right along with it being moving side to side. This is just straight across. The only swing that you're getting is out here at the steering block. So it keeps, it's more of a rack and pinion. The rack and pinion just drives right straight across. And that's all this is. It's a couple of bushings. There's a shim in between them. Try and, yep, this fell apart. That's okay. Get those out of there. Hey, kids. Use a blade and try and get it undone. There's no telling how long this thing. He said he'd messed with this 10 years prior, so I put this much together 10 years ago. Well, I've already had it for a few years, so then there's that. Let's show you guys how this works. So a guy here, he's just threaded on the bottom. It goes into its little hex hole. Fits down in. Got a little bit of play side to side, but once you put the screw in there, it's good. And no, I'm not using Loctite on these. There's no need to use Loctite on these, and it makes them a lot easier to service, because you can still hear that click. So it was good and tight. Good and tight. So let's get these guys apart. I'm not going to take this rear block off on both sides. I'm just going to take it to where the arms will come off and the bumpers will come off, so that we can switch out the pins. Which will be awesome. I'm so excited about this kit. This is going to be so cool. The other one drives actually pretty good, even for being a kit that was built so long ago. No telling how long ago it was actually truly built in the first place, but these kits were so simple. They were, the simplicity of them is just absolutely awesome. All right. I'll put this over here. And this, these blocks dictate, the rear one dictates how much angle you got, kick up in the control arm, and the toe in the rear end. And then the pin just goes right into those holes. Let's see, you can see it has right on here these numbers: the 2 degrees of toe, the 3 degrees. I think that was like for the anti-squat. You just pull out. Yeah, see, I can feel these are sticky. They didn't clean them or anything. They just stuck them in there. So get these guys out. Yeah, those things are just sticky, sticky, sticky. See that right there? I'll need that here in just a second. Pull this out. Now the front block here just has the 2 on it. That's 2 degrees of kick up. And I believe that's for the anti-squat also. So I'm never really worried about all of that stuff. I was just building the car and going and running it, which is what we're going to do here. Need to get that off of there, though. That's going to drive me nuts. The little bit of molding that comes on these carbon arms. Dang it. Try not to cut myself. There we go. That's better. But I wanted to show you, this does have a bit of a servo saver on the steering crank too. See, this can flex side to side. It has a spring and a screw that runs into this nylock nut, so that you can actually set tension for this, so that you have that little bit of rebound. This is their servo saver, and you can still put a servo saver on the servo too, but that would be kind of overkill. So, oh geez, that one is stuck in there. Man, oh man, that was crazy. All right, here we go. Yeah, just kind of upon a closer look at the bag here, it looks like they were pulled out at one time, like they was just being used for spare pieces, but shoot, that sucks. Let me get this. Ooh, I don't want to do it that way. I don't want to scratch it up doing that. We'll do it this way. I'll just cut a little slot in here where it was already cut. and get these guys out. Yeah, see, that feels so much better. A lot slicker. Nothing's binding on it. One more. You really guys don't need to come out just yet. There we are. All right. Get these guys in. And then we'll set the droop on the arms too, because I turn these all the way out so that they're not set, so we can do that too. Put those in. Move these out of the way. Put that back in there. Oh, it's already better. I don't even have these tied down yet. I don't know what the heck is going on over there, but hopefully you guys aren't hearing that. Yeah, look at that. Already better. So much better. Now, I've probably said this before. Whenever you're building a new kit, initially, do not use power tools. That'll stick up there, but that's fine. Yeah, so it doesn't stick all the way up there. And we're not even going to travel that far. That's so much better. And it looks nicer too. Look, it smells nice and shiny in there. Put those in. Put these guys on. Why? Put those into their spot. What's the matter, son? Uh-oh. Hang on, guys. I have a cat emergency here. She's stuck in the screens. Yeah, I see that. I know. Well, if you would let go then. Let go. You just let go with one. Now you got to know with the other one. Leave it alone. There you go. Good Lord. All right. There we go. Now we're back. Excuse me. My silly tortoise shell cat. She always has technical problems when we put it out here in her little tent. So, back to what we're doing. Already 10 times better. Put these guys back on. Yeah, I'm not going by what I was planning on doing because we're still on the first page and showing you what the steering block is. Now, this plastic from way back then is completely different, and a lot of times you cannot feel when the screw stops. It makes it that much more difficult because these blocks are completely different material than, like, this chassis is carbon, the arms are carbon, but this stuff is like almost like an injection plastic, and you can't hardly feel when the screw stops. That's why they did the bumpers this way, so there's that little bit of flex in there to absorb some impact from the rear. Ooh, see, it still sticks a little bit. So, put the steering rack back on. And it shows you here how it's assembling everything I was showing you. All of that. Putting the ball ends in. Putting this all together with the screw and the spring. So it's a bit of a servo saver. And up here in the corner, you can kind of see that. Your washer, bushing, shim, bushing, and then a washer up on top to allow it all just to kind of slide. So, put these guys down here. Put these guys on. Only putting one because the shim fell out. That little tiny shim. Bushing. The shim. And the bushing. Your steering rack. See, that's just such a good, so nice. And you can kind of see them slide back and forth a little bit too. Now, I've noticed, because I've built a few of these before, that there's a, get out of there. You're supposed to stay there when I do that. There's a little bit of a seam, molding seam that goes on inside the slot all the way around. I don't know, you can maybe be able to see it or not, but I would just take like my knife or something like that and just kind of give it a little scrape just to kind of sand it down a little bit so you can get rid of that little molding edge. You might be able to see maybe a little bit of an edge in there. See around the corner right there. A little bit of a molding edge. So just kind of shave that down a little bit so it'll make it move a little bit better. And then once you get this on there, and these nice little plastic nuts. You can adjust your tension because you can actually bite down on these pretty good. See. That's pretty tight. So you just back off a little bit. We're getting there. Still a little tight. Today's servos can probably handle that, but then our older ones, not so much. You're rocking. There's a little bit of rocking, but I don't have this one down yet either. So, but that's pretty good, and you'll never go all the way either way. So now that one there's set, we'll do a quarter right there. Now I can tighten it back up to see how close I need to be. You all the way back down. Huh. Yes, I'm not even down as far down that one. This one here is up kind of high. I'm not even up there yet. So maybe I was wrong when I stopped. There it is. Back off. And back up a little bit more. That's not bad. The best thing to do with these is to put bearings in there. But this kit didn't come with the bearings, so we're not going to worry about that. That's good. That's good. That's real good. Okay. So let's move this out the way. Now we're going to use our droop gauge. And this is what this is for, is so that you can actually set that ride height see, and with the directions, it says right here, because we already did all of this up here, putting the arms on, the bumpers and all that stuff. Now we're setting the droop. It says to rest it on step 6. So it has to be just where it's just touching. So we'll go right there. And that's a different driver. That's a whole different driver. We're going to use one of the standard guys to do this. That's just, you guys can see what I'm, kind of see what I'm doing. It's just touching step 6. It's floating really good. Let's see if you guys can see this down here a little bit better. Let me turn this around here. Move this out of the way. I'll turn this around where you can see what I'm doing. Now you can see the numbers. It's not touching 5 at all. But it's just it just slightly moves when it touches step 6. So that's just about perfect. I might put just a little skosh more onto it just to set the droop. But that's pretty much the idea on doing that. So that'll be it. That's how you're setting the droop, how you're putting your control arms on for right now. And that's what we're going to do, because the next step is going to be getting into building the differentials. And that's going to be all kinds of fun also. So thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. And don't forget, like, subscribe, comment, share. This is a cool freaking car. I almost said, but anyways, everybody be good, have fun, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks for being here. Bye.